Gotta call up, book. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Together.
And welcome to a special edition of the True Patriot Podcast interview series here. Folks, welcome to the show. My name is Gene, as you know, and we have a very special guest with us for this interview series that we're going to get on the line here. But before we do that, I wanted to kind of give you an introduction here to, as far as from our viewpoint with this, why it was so important that we finally got this guest to come on the show and chat with us. You know, providing the services that we do, doing the work that we do out there, we say this all the time, and we speak about this, that we've designed our product offerings around this concept, and that is together, you know, we can make a big difference. Locally speaking, here in Colorado, there's probably been no other organization that has done more for us to get off the ground and get starting, albeit on a very, you know, junior level right now. Based on, you know, just their normal processes, how they work. But nevertheless, what they have done is, as I said, for us, they are probably the largest contributor to our programs and our offerings right now, and that is SCHEELS. Specifically SCHEELS Colorado, more specifically SCHEELS Johnstown. SCHEELS is an outdoor sporting good company, but I'll let our guest kind of explain a little bit more of that and the store there. But man, they have done a tremendous amount, and people, you know, sometimes mistake the bigger stores for being out of touch with their local communities. And for the most part, that's true. I mean, the fact of the matter is the bigger companies, a lot of times they got bigger fish to fry, and they're getting, you know, information fed from corporate, this and that. But SCHEELS is different. They're very different, and you're going to learn that with our guest here. So we have with us one of the main people that we've worked with. She handles a ton of the community outreach and working with that as a director from SCHEELS for her department is Miss Kaitlin Wells. So we're going to go ahead and get Kaitlin on the phone with us here on our Zoom call and give you guys a chance to get to know her, know the programs they do, man. And yeah, this is going to be an awesome deal. We're super excited. So without further ado, let's get it rolling. And welcome to the show, Kaitlin. Thank you so very much for joining us here on the podcast.
Happy to be here.
You know, as I just gone through and explained, you know, we've had an opportunity to work on some deals over the past few months. Hands down, you guys have been, and you specifically have been instrumental in helping us, you know, get going on the service side to get out there, the things that you guys have been able to do for us. So, you know, on obviously I've never said it enough. I've said it a few times, but not enough. Thank you so very much for choosing to work with us and trust us on some of these adventures. And hopefully it's, you know, of signs of bigger things to come down the line.
Yeah.
So the first piece that we wanted to get in here is, for a lot of folks out there, I mean, SCHEELS is nationwide. I mean, you guys are in a lot of states out there, but still to some people, that some of our viewers from certain areas out there are no SCHEELS in their state just yet. It's coming, I'm sure, eventually. But so we want to try to, you know, take this opportunity to get to know you. And I've felt strongly about the fact of introducing SCHEELS because of how much you guys do. I know for a fact that people, even in the local areas, don't realize how much you guys give back to the local community. And that's, I mean, for us here in Northern Colorado, I mean, that's you. I mean, that's what you guys do. So I wanted to have a chance to kind of introduce that. So let's start with SCHEELS. Who is SCHEELS? What does SCHEELS do?
Yeah, well, like you said, if there are many people out there that still have not gone to one of our stores, they don't know kind of everything that we have within these walls of SCHEELS, but we're basically a large sporting goods store, but we are so much more than just sporting goods. So we've got, we like to tell everybody kind of we're a combo. We've got some hunting, fishing. We've got home decor, we've got sporting goods, we've got, fashion, apparel, accessories, footwear. We've kind of got something for everybody here. So we're a 250,000 square foot store. We've got 80 plus different specialty shops. So like I said, that does include that hunting, fishing, exercise, and all those different shops and areas. But we also have entertainment options. So we like to tell people that we're kind of a destination store. We do have a 65-foot Ferris wheel in our store. It's a hot item here for sure.
And we're talking about the Johnstown, Colorado store.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
The Johnstown location. That's where I'm at. So yeah, and then we've got, a large saltwater aquarium. That's a big hit with the kids and the families. We've got a cafe. We've got arcade games, rollerball, a bunch of different kind of stuff. So we like to make it, a whole experience when you come here. Get the families out here, kids, that kind of thing. So that's in a nutshell kind of what SCHEELS is from a store level.
And it truly is. I mean, my experience, so I'm, coming from Rochester, Minnesota, after being there for 10 years, we had a SCHEELS there. And correct me if I'm wrong, the roots of SCHEELS is from, back the upper Midwest, right? I mean, that's where it's founded. Yep. Yeah. So it's kind of a household name out there when people, saw that. Plus, it doesn't hurt from the guys I hang out with, the angling community. SCHEELS is a major contributor on the highest level of bass fishing that's out there. So Minnesota bass fishing, having that, it was all kind of a family name out there.
Yeah.
And their store's big, but you guys, I mean, it truly is. I mean, first thing you said, the aquarium's great for kids. Oh, and big kids too. That's the first thing I got locked on when I got them. Like, how do I get one of these in my house?
Yeah, I know.
And yeah, I mean, don't you guys also have, or am I thinking of the Rochester one? Do you guys have like a cinnamon bun bakery place or is it the pretzel place?
So we have a cafe,
Right.
but it's mainly like fudge. So we've got
right.
fudge, and they make tons of fudge, and it's unique flavors. They'll do flavors of the month, and I'm like, I think one time they were talking about putting Cheetos in a fudge, and I was like, I don't know what's happening, but but it's really good fudge. We've got a ton of treats and stuff, and so that's another big draw for literally everybody. So
well, and what makes it so awesome that I think, as far as SCHEELS goes, when you get a chance to go to the store, it is like you said, it's a destination. I mean, you can literally spend a day here checking things out, just window shopping, checking out items. You guys have unique things that, not a lot of people carry. And the quality, to me, that is, I mean, mind you, I'm biased. I'm from the fishing side of it, most part, but I've also done some Christmas shopping at SCHEELS many times. And the thing I've always enjoyed about it is that you guys are very particular about the brands that you carry there. You expect the quality to be with those, so we're not trying to compete with, bargain department store stuff here. This is, properly fair price, good stuff that you guys carry.
Yeah.
And that's, that to me, I think is an awesome, not to mention your website is off the hook. Ordering online is super, super easy with SCHEELS.
Yeah.
Again, fishing gear. I mean, that's what we've.
That's good. That's good to hear that it's good on your end, because I do most of my shopping just leaving from work. So
I was going to say, yeah. Yours is a lot easier there for sure.
Yeah.
How long has the Johnstown location been open?
Yep. So we opened in September of 2017. So I think this will be our 5th year coming up.
That's awesome.
So yeah, just kind of within a short 4.5 or so years, we've kind of tried to really kind of make an impact in the community and that kind of thing. So
I was going to say, the part that strikes me the most on this, Kaitlin, is I was just talking about this off the air with you. My travels, my business puts me in contact with a lot of organizations and clubs, specifically around the outdoors and fishing, from boats to boat fishing, now kayak, that we're going all in there, kayak fishing, and just general outdoor, and lots of nonprofits. And I'm telling you, everywhere I turn is a SCHEELS hat or a SCHEELS logo, or on a website, sponsored by, we want to thank SCHEELS for their support. 4.5, 5 years, you guys you guys have made, and we're talking about SCHEELS Colorado too. I mean, even though down because there's your sister store was at like the Colorado Springs. Is that where it's located?
Yep.
So SCHEELS Colorado, as the hat says, you guys have done just amazing work. What department is it that is specifically your department within
So
SCHEELS?
like, what do I do kind of? So I am the community relations coordinator at the
Gotcha.
Johnstown store.
Gotcha.
So I've got a team of 4 within our marketing office, and we kind of do a bunch of various tasks, kind of split up between social media, events, that kind of, we've got youth sports, that kind of thing. But mainly what I do is I kind of work with local nonprofits and kind of handle a lot more of like the donations from our store.
Yep.
So a big focus of mine is building those relationships with nonprofits, organizations in the area. How can we support them? How can we, enhance their events? How can we donate to them, to their fundraisers, help them, kind of raise more money for their cause, that kind of thing. So a lot of what I do is building those relationships and just, seeing how I can help their cause.
And I could be wrong in this, correct me here. You guys are kind of unique. What you do, I mean, is there a position like that at some of the other stores? Because I got to be honest, I've spoken to a lot of your competition over the years, and I've never run into somebody like you that did your job at those locations. It's like your duties were a tertiary or down the line of other responsibilities as assigned by someone else, doing this, which told me where that lies then in the company's priority. Yeah. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to some of those guys, but what I'm trying to do more so is point out, I mean, this is kind of unique. I mean, SCHEELS truly, of big stores, truly cares about the communities that you guys are working in and that you're servicing. Yeah.
So we have someone in some capacity in my position at every one of our locations. So a big company motto or, kind of focal point of ours is to give back to our local communities. We want to support the community that in turn comes and supports us. They shop here, we want to in turn turn that right back around. And so every store kind of, has a certain percentage that they can kind of give back to their local community. And that's kind of why a person like me has the job that I do, because you kind of need to find those opportunities and the different groups to each market. So yeah.
How awesome is that, dude? That is super cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
And in, from my industry, in the fishing industry, where everything costs you, like a quart of plasma, a firstborn child, and naming rights to your thirdborn child. Yeah. It's so comforting to know. And it restores a little faith, in the capitalist society that we have, that there are organizations the size of SCHEELS, because you guys are not, I mean, you act like a small business, but you're not. I mean, you guys are a powerhouse in the industry, but you conduct you're not there to wipe out the small businesses in your community. Matter of fact, you're doing things to help them, around every corner, and the communities. That's awesome stuff. I mean, that's a super cool job. Yeah. I don't remember that on career day. Yeah. I mean, yeah. So that's, and you're right. I follow SCHEELS online, many stores like the North Dakota store. I follow those guys, of course, SCHEELS, Rochester, follow around, and I see similar posts, the themes that the company is carrying through. And it's like, I can tell this is a company-wide directive that they want community support across the board. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think we really kind of set our roots wherever we, decide to build, and kind of a big part of that is trying to become a part of the community. We don't want to be just that big box store. We want to have that small town feel, mom and pop location. You can come in, talk to our experts, like you said, the product is there. Our experts are the ones that kind of know, the ins and outs of the product. And from a marketing side, we're here to just kind of say, how can we support you guys? Maybe not create anything new on our end, but how can we support your events? Add to a lot of the groups we work with already have such a big following and such,
big, support behind them, we just kind of want to add to that. So
Augment.
yeah.
Enhance the piece. That's
Yeah.
awesome stuff. So let's talk about that. I personally know just, a laundry list of organizations that you guys work with, because we work with similar, we like the ranch, of course, that, very close to our hearts, Romans Warrior Foundation. We'll get into that, some of the events that we're looking at for there. And then some of the other organizations, bigger ones in, say, Northern Colorado, who do you, who comes to mind when you start thinking of some of those? I mean, I'm not putting you on the spot to name the whole list, because good Lord, it's huge, but just what are some of the bigger ones that, impactful ones?
Yeah, well, it's hard to say, because we work with over 500 nonprofits in a year, and they're all great, and they all have their own niche and their own, group of people that they're working with. Right. So it's really hard to say, and especially since our store has products across the board. We've got the fishing gear, we've got the outdoor gear that kind of tailors more to, those veteran retreats and that kind of thing. But we've also got, home decor and fashion clothing, right, kind of tailors more to, those human service groups or something like that. So it's so hard, it's so hard to say kind of who those big ones are.
One of the big ones in Northern Colorado, the Colorado Youth Organization. Yeah. You guys do a lot of work with those guys that you have in the past. And I think you're still ongoing with those guys. I mean, what's that involvement been like?
Yeah. So with Colorado Youth Outdoors, they're a great partner of ours. We have a long list of great partners, but they've kind of been kind of that outdoor space. And a lot of times too, is we have a lot of our associates that are involved with nonprofits too. So I know some of our associates are volunteers or kind of work at Colorado Youth Outdoors. We've got, volunteers or associates that work at another group, House Neighborly Service. We've got kind of some of those ties, because we do have so many associates. And so we kind of, have them from both sides, I guess, from working with from a store level as far as donations, but also kind of from an associate side as well. But Colorado Youth Outdoors, some of those groups are just awesome organizations. It's just, that's why it's so hard to tell, because list off the names, because you have outdoor groups that fit in our wheelhouse, but you also have, like I said, House Neighborly Service. It's more of like a, human service need, clothing, that kind of thing. And that fits in our wheelhouse too. So it's just all across the board. We've got a lot of great I work with. So
obviously close to our heart is the, all of the outdoor services and things of those. But, one of the things that you guys do that I had the privilege to be invited to come up with the Warrior Bonfire program. Retired Lieutenant Colonel Mike Foss asked me to go with him to that event, because they were awarded one of these pieces, is your giving campaign at the end of the year, which for those of you that are unaware of this thing, this is off the chain. Each store gets given a ridiculous amount of money that they give back to like 20 nonprofits based on a voting factor of, they want to know who the community, is basically most responsive to it when it comes to a lot of these nonprofits that are out there. So based on the voting piece there, these nonprofits, and it was so awesome to see the ranch there, some, like I said, a group that we work with, and then of course, Warrior Bonfire there. You guys, like I said, this was when I started seeing all these different nonprofits from all these different sectors of the community. I mean, like you said, from women's health to family services, to animal rescue, to veteran support services, to outdoor enthusiasts. I mean, actually, the Colorado Youth Hockey, that nonprofit setup. Yeah. You name the gamut, man. You guys are, I mean, how does, you said it's 5 of you? You have 4 people on the team and you?
Yep. So we have 4. Yep. That
keeps you guys busy.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, cool job, but good night. You guys got to be on the move. Thank you so much for taking at least a little hour of your day out to spend time with us. Yeah. So that end of year giving campaign is that something that every store does for SCHEELS?
Yeah, so we all do some sort of campaign. It might look a little different depending on the store. And, a lot of stores have been in their markets for a lot longer than we have. So they've already got, set processes on how they kind of donate back and that kind of thing. But
I see.
Yep. So when we came here, a lot of markets are just different too. Some markets, they, don't have as many nonprofits or as many events going on in a year as, Northern Colorado does. It's just kind of booming up here.
Right.
So when we got here, we were like, well, we are a Midwest store, company based. How do we pick and choose, which groups to start working with, start building that relationship with, that kind of thing. So we had this idea of, it was actually our leadership team that was like, hey, let's just get the community involved. Why not listen to the community, have them tell us the great groups that are in the area, and then we can kind of follow their lead, because if the community is supporting certain groups, at a high level, those are groups that we need to get, in contact with and see how we can support them too. So we started this campaign where we put together, a chunk of our donation dollars for the year. And we were like, we're just going to open it up to nominations and people could nominate. And this past year, we gave out $100,000 to 20 organizations, 5,000 each. So not 100 each, but yeah,
that's huge.
It was a lot of fun because you get to hear kind of from the community which groups are, getting a lot of traction kind of in the community. And so it's fun to see, like you said, that hockey group, that might not have been on our radar before, or something like that. So it's just a fun way to get the community involved and just kind of see, where their hearts are and the groups that they support. And we kind of go through the long list of nominations and pick, kind of go through all the names and numbers and that kind of thing. And that kind of helps us decide, kind of who gets those funds at the end of the year. So it's really cool to see. I mean, we get nominations of groups that I was like, I've never even heard of them. And I was like, I work with a lot of groups in a year and I've never heard of them. I'm going to try to find out how I can reach out to them. So
that's awesome.
It's kind of a cool thing to do for sure. So yeah.
And that, when you hear it from the horse's mouth, so to speak, when the community's talking back to you going, hey, these, this group here has been doing this, in this area, maybe it's not, a big national thing, but in the local community, that organization has been doing some serious good work.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that's brilliant how you guys have that set up. That plugs you right in with, you're keeping your thumb right on the pulse of what's going on right around there. So.
Yeah. We for sure want it to impact Northern Colorado whenever we do this. So just because that, like I said, we just want to be able to support the local community within our, 25, 50 mile radius kind of our store for sure. So,
So, and I don't know if you're in a position to be able to answer this, but you guys, because you cover such a wide range, it's probably a difficult question, but are there any major areas that when you guys hear about it, it's like, hey, this is a focal point for us. We really want to hear, we want to, tap into what's going on there. Is there that type of, deal that's something, or is it a revolving thing, throughout the year that, you guys focus on?
Yeah. So it is a trickier thing to answer. But what we kind of do is, so we've kind of started to lean on more of like a radius around our store.
I see.
So we've really kind of tackled a lot of our, customers, nonprofits, those kind of things that are kind of serving within 25 to 30 miles of our store. And kind of next steps for us are, especially now that we do have our Colorado Springs store, how can we kind of expand a little bit more outside of that radius and kind of, impact those, Eastern groups or, customers kind of closer to Denver, maybe events and organizations that are going on more in that Denver area that we can kind of collaborate with, with our Colorado Springs store and ours. So it's not necessarily like an area of, like service, but it's more of a radius area, because we do kind of focus a lot on how can we, make our partnerships that we have currently that are, local to our store, that kind of thing, good and, solid partnerships. And then from there, how can we kind of expand past that? So those are kind of like ongoing goals that we always have, is just kind of how can we, kind of dip more down into Denver, up to Cheyenne, east, those kind of things, just kind of make our name a little bit more broad, to the kind of those further out areas.
And you guys are doing it in such a way that is absolutely phenomenal, that you're doing it in an impactful way. I mean, you guys, your department, you guys are laboring to find ways that you can reach into these further areas. Normally, when you talk about that, it's a market expansion, right? It's, we're going to further our market share. But what we're talking about here is the fact that you guys are looking to expand your giving, expand the help that you can extend in there. And this is why, this is what has kept me constantly knocking on your door and always sending you emails going, hey, don't forget me out here, because your philosophy is through service to others that comes back to you. That was that epiphany that when you and I had a chance to speak, that I hit after umpteen years and all the degrees, college degrees, this and that, was that, as long as we are providing something forward, in our business, I'm going to be happy. But it's no longer about, here, buy my fishing reel, buy my, tackle box.
Yeah.
It's what can we do to give back? And then can we afford to put gas in the pickup and keep doing that? Yeah. That's all. And so the fact that it's, I personally just found a camaraderie there with your philosophies on that. And it's something that I believe separates SCHEELS from everyone. I don't think you have a competitor in the field right now that can claim, or because you guys don't even look to ask for recognition. You simply do what you do, and it's the community itself that's going, wow. They sit back and see the impact of what you guys are doing out there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think all of us, we, especially kind of in my role, I love talking to people and I love listening to their stories. And I've been introduced to so many great causes, organizations, events, that kind of thing, just by having people call me up and say, hey, this is really random. I'm all the way east in Alt and I've got an event coming up. And I'm like, love it. How can we help? I think we just kind of take that pride and kind of in that ownership of really trying, how can we connect with the people? How can we really kind of help them out? Yep. And just like you said, we're not out there just to kind of have our name on a banner. We do like to build partnerships and relationships with the people that we work with, and kind of have those be ongoing, and hopefully long-term, partnerships with each group that we support. So, yeah. Absolutely.
So speaking of that, shameless plug time a little bit, but it's absolutely, this is once again, this was another situation. So last year, quick story, working primarily with the ranch and the Warrior Bonfire program. I'm learning about Operation Equine and Wolfpack support services. And I'm trying to remember where I saw this. I think it was on social media. Someone talked about a global war on terror wall of remembrance was going to be in the SCHEELS parking lot. And I'm like, what? This is curious. So I look it up online. I get some information. I'm like, yeah, I'm down. And here comes the part of the story that, I will openly admit on air. So I tell my wife about this. I'm like, honey, I really want to go see this. Number one, it's at SCHEELS, and I'm trying to establish a relationship with SCHEELS. I want them to, trust in what we're doing. I want them to get to know us a little better. And I was like, so on top of that, I personally want to see that wall. I mean, it's, oh my gracious. That's, my generation's Pearl Harbor, type thing.
Yeah.
For us, we remember exactly what we were doing, what was going on 9/11. I remember it literally like it was yesterday. So I drive up there and it said East parking lot. Well, I had never even been to the East parking lot. I always parked on the West side when I went up to SCHEELS. I drive around to the back, and literally as I'm driving going, well, where in the hell is this wall? If it is, it's real small. It dawned on me the date that I read, Somehow
Oh.
I transferred the weekends. I came up a weekend early.
Oh.
So I'm like, so we flipped around to the west parking lot, went in, did some shopping around Scheels and left. I leave. And then we came back the following weekend. We had a chance to get up there and we witnessed something that was absolutely amazing. This wall, what the wall represents with the timeline information. I love the fact that on the backside of that timeline on the wall of remembrance, there's no politics there. It goes over administratives, decisions on what was done there. It's not talking. It's not a left or a right thing. It's an educational piece that teaches people the real information that we now know about, what's been going on as early as 1983. Mm-hmm. And on the other side, the main portion of this wall was honoring all those people that we've lost, that gave their life in the sacrifice in this piece from, during these times throughout. And then of course, even after, and then to see the quarters and the coins that were up on there, to see that local impact that it had, that so mm-hmm. many people had so many connections. How many miles are we? 3,500, miles away from the 9 ground zero, but yet still seeing all those connections, even our local community had. Mm-hmm. So I see this thing here. Next thing I know, because we have the truck there that's wrapped and it's got the veteran support stuff on it there. This lady comes up to me and she says, "I take it you're a veteran?" "No, ma'am, I am not." And she's like, "Is that your truck?" And I'm like, "Yes, it is." And she's like, "We got to talk. What's going on here?" So I explained to him what we do. It was Jenny Brown.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Dave and Jenny Brown, the original, folks that basically the creators, designers of this wall. Mm-hmm. And so now fast forward from that piece there, I get introduced to Brian Romans. We hit it off. He says, "Come join us at Wellington, because we're going to be up there for Veterans Day with the wall." He goes, "I would love it if you come up and park your truck right next to us there." Because we did a few shots of the truck. They opened up and let us pull the truck in there and get some shots with the wall as a background. So we go up there, we meet him. Next thing you know, we're hitting it off, and I realize, good night, this guy and I might be related somewhere down the line. His view towards his service and giving back to others, it just made total sense that you guys were working with him. And once again, though, it was that proof that SCHEELS is working not only, this thing was a national, now obviously Dave, there's a connection there.
Yep.
But it's that connection piece across with the Romans Warriors. So that event goes off last year. It was huge. People talking about it constantly. I don't know and I apologize, and I'll edit this out later if needs be, because I don't know where details are at in the process, but are we allowed to talk about the possibility of what's in the works right now for November? Or do we need to wait till those details are ironed out before we get into any of that?
Yes.
Okay.
So we have been talking to Brian, and we are moving forward on kind of bringing the wall back out. I think we just have to finalize a few of the logistics and details and stuff, but I think we saw, such an impact that it made kind of having it out here, and just kind of the scope of it, and just the people that come visit and the stories that you hear and stuff like that. It was just like we have to try to get it back again. So we're definitely moving forward on getting it out here. I think we have to work a little bit through some of the logistics and that kind of thing, but yeah, we're hopeful that we can get it out here this year and hopefully years to come and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's an awesome thing, and an awesome organization that kind of brings that around the country. And like you said, just the impact that it can have is just amazing. So yeah. And
when you get to know the people that surround it, the family, the Romans, that they make this a family ordeal. They, the things they sacrifice and give up to be able to get this monument around. To me, it's an absolute must. I'm going to drag my 20-year-old up there this year. I won't have to drag him. As long as he's off work, he'll gladly come. But it's a funnier story if I say drag. But I think it is on that educational but impactful. It is a memorial. It's a mobile memorial One of the things that I do for Romans now is when I go travel for my events that I go to, I'm actually staying an extra day or extending or mixing it in with my normal stay, where I'm going and speaking with the local communities about trying to find possible candidates of where we can bring the wall there. And so it just makes total sense with the amount of where I'm traveling and where I'm going through the Midwest. We want to get this wall as many places that we can, out there. So, that's, and this thing could blow up. I mean, it could get where we've got so many people supporting it along with SCHEELS, that are coming along with some music artists that want to, help us out with things. And, there's obviously a lot of, that's the logistic stuff, I'm sure, that has to be kind of ironed through, but nevertheless, it is definitely a cool reason. Dude, you will spend an entire day, come up, see the wall, during that time, spend the entire day at SCHEELS, roaming throughout, go back out, see the wall some more, come back into SCHEELS, have something to eat. I mean, you can't go wrong. That is just a win-win across the board.
Yeah. No, we're excited. And once we kind of get everything figured out, we'll, for sure be promoting it and stuff like that. So, but
I'll be right there with you on that one.
So we're excited to see it kind of hopefully come out again. So
awesome. So besides that, any other for upcoming 2022, do you have any other stuff that you're allowed to talk about just yet? As far as major events? I wrote
some things down, but there's not a huge list. I think it kind of goes in line with just like our overall goals of expanding kind of further outside of that, direct market reach. We also started to do kind of in your realm, this like outdoor fishing series.
Nice.
It's a seminar series. So we're bringing in some local groups and organizations. We've got, some of our team here that's doing kind of some of these seminars throughout the summer. And it's various topics, anywhere from, like I said, fishing to camping to, rock climbing or whatever. We haven't finalized all the topics, but it's going to be pretty cool. We do have our outdoor expo, which is also another thing that's coming up on the 9th. It's a lot of that fishing, camping, food prep
9th
areas.
of April.
Yep.
Okay.
April 9th. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We've got vendors coming out for it. So just kind of a fun activity, free day, kind of to be a part and visit with those vendors and stuff like that. But that's kind of it, a continuing goal, I guess, of ours is always trying to find those, free education opportunities for our customers, those free events that people can come to, bring their kids to, those kind of things just add to the overall experience when they're here. And then just, kind of giving that free, education or, chance to interact with vendors or something like that. So we don't really have, anything specific or, any kind of thing that we wanted to promote, but just kind of those ongoing things that we're always kind of working towards.
Well, and I think one of the best ways how I find out about a lot of stuff is that you guys, your social media team is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Talk about just on point, on target, and quick information. I mean, you guys communicate information through which that again is a rarity out there. It's not clickbait junk that I see, flying around most areas. You guys do a great job of communicating a lot of your events and things that are going on right through your social channels out there. So highly encourage folks, do a search out there. The way you find it is type in SCHEELS and then look, you'll see like a bunch of them, but look for the Johnstown SCHEELS. That's what you're looking for.
Yep. Cause each of our stores kind of has different events and things that they're kind of offering. So if anybody's kind of looking at what we're doing specifically at our store, that's probably the best route to go. So
that's awesome. Well, I don't know if you're aware or not, but we made the official announcement that we are leaving the bass boat world. We were going to dabble for this year.
Yeah.
And after a lot of hard contemplation and then reaching out to our existing sponsors and talking with them to make sure that everything's okay with 2022 starting off the way it is. And everything under the planet blaming Russia, blaming COVID, whatever, to raise prices up. The expense has gone through the roof. And as our focus is primarily changed to the veteran support services, what is our number one now, not competitive fishing. competitive fishing is our secondary piece. It happens and it helps that, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we had to properly adjust our organization, and to do that. And now with our new work with New Canoe that we're doing, we are leaving the bass boat world behind, and we are going all in now, literally changed up the kayak angling. So we are, the tournament fishing is in my blood. I can't get it out.
Yeah.
The opportunities working with local clubs that you guys already support, the Colorado Kayak Fishing Club, Colorado Kayak Bassmasters. We're going to be involved in both of those. That's how we're going to get our feet wet, is on the local level. And we're going to be fishing one national series this year, the All-American Kayak Series. And then next year, we're going to take this and put probably our primary focus to the national scene, KBF, bass, and we'll be going after that. But we're going to be doing a ton. I'm sure I'm going to be having some video of me shopping through SCHEELS there, looking for items that I'm going to need. Because the cool thing about kayak fishing, man, it's all those rigging and little, knickknack that we need.
I wouldn't even know where to begin.
It really isn't that tough, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I was just talking to one of the regional team members for New Canoe out of the Ozarks. And the beauty, one of the cool things about, the kayak side compared to the bass boat side is it's such a minimalist type approach. I don't get to go out with 30 rods and reels like I have in my boat right now. I got 6 to 8. And to some people, that's even a lot. And to me, I'm like, that's not many options. But, I can't take 90 to 120 pounds of fishing tackle with me out there. It's got to be just a few. So, I'm excited. I haven't been this excited about, 49, going to be 50 this year, and I'm going to be a rookie again. That's awesome stuff. Plus, I'm going to be able to get rid of this extra 25 pounds that we need to get rid of, because I'm going to be active again. This is exciting times. And as you know, our veteran support service, we have the fleet of New Canoes. We're going to be able to offer that type of fishing on so many of our local ponds here. Yeah. Boyd is going to be a big body of water now to us, where with my boat, it's kind of a small body of water out there. Yeah. But the Boyd, I think Lon Hagler, I mean, that's a great kayak fishing location. And so, you're probably going to be, once we get this trailer thing figured out, you'll be seeing us rolling around up there quite a bit. So, that's awesome. And I wanted to give you guys a shout out again, because sitting right behind me is the gear that you guys made possible. Every one of our vets that are coming with us, getting a rod and reel through SCHEELS, getting this thing. So you guys have donated that, and an awesome set of gear there that's going to go in a tackle bag. I'm still trying to put that together, figure out what we're going to do in the tackle bag. But those are the events that we're going to be taking people out with, the kayaks or just shore fishing, either way, for a day. Yeah. And that's the gear that you and I talk about, and you guys made happen for us. So we thank you very much for making that happen. That's we're hoping to get them the bug, right? And we let them catch it. Yeah. So then they come in there and they need to shop at SCHEELS to get all their gear that they need from there on out.
I mean, I've caught one fish in my life, and that was pretty exciting. So
I'm telling you, we can fix this. We get you, your husband. Do you have kids?
I have one. Yep.
Okay. Yep. Get you, your husband. We got enough kayaks. Yeah. We can, or we can go from the shore. Yeah. It's a wide open invitation. You name the time, and we'll get you guys out there.
Well, I'm excited to see if I'm sure you'll post videos or stuff like that of you out there, because half the time I'm just like, I would just love to watch other people catch fish and see the different types and sizes and all that kind of stuff. So
I was just looking into so for my GoPro, my Hero GoPro that I have, I was just looking into, there's everything that mounts on a kayak, at least on the Unlimited, we have our rail systems, right? Mm-hmm. And it's a special kind of connection that connects to these rails. Well, they make a boom arm for your GoPro. And so you can set it on the front there and hold it off. So it gives you a view of the angler, fishing. Yeah. To me, I'm just worried about, smacking it with my fishing rod and everything else. I'm used to having wide open space on the deck of my bass boat, but I got to tell you that Unlimited is perfect for the guy like me coming from a bass boat in, because it's so big, it's so wide, and it's so open. Yeah. So it's the perfect fit for what I need to do. So we're going to document that as well, that whole setup. So awesome. We'll have you guys on there. Kaitlin, thank you so very much for taking the time out of your day, introducing us to you, SCHEELS. Folks, if you've not gone out to follow them on social media, look for the Johnstown SCHEELS out there. if you've learned anything from this, you see this is a company that cares about the place that it does business, its associates, its people live here, and they give back. And for that, we say thank you for everything that you do for all of us out there. Stick with us, folks. We'll be coming back here for the second part of the podcast. And Kaitlin, thank you again so very much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And welcome back, folks. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed that interview as much as we did doing it there. I started to ramble at the end of that thing, as I am known to do. But SCHEELS is such an integral part of all the work we do. And you see now, if you watch the entire interview, you understand why. This is a rarity out there. There's not many companies of this size that make it such a priority to give back to the local communities. And so SCHEELS is an organization that we absolutely love, we respect, and we want to foster a relationship with them. When you have like-minded organizations working towards a common goal, man, some really cool things can happen locally, and then even bigger from there. All the help they give us local just helps spur us to expand that, and to hear that they want to expand to more of Northern Colorado. That's a very cool thing as well. And that's something that we are looking forward to the future, and all the cool stuff that we're going to be able to do with them throughout. Folks, thank you so very much for joining us on this little bit different format here on the interview here. We're hoping to do a little bit some more of these. Please, let your friends know about the podcast. If any of this is for you, find it interesting on any level. The ways you can support us here that are super easy, don't take much from you. The likes and the follows and the subscribes to the YouTube channel, liking our Facebook and Instagram posts, sharing our profile and our pages and so forth with other people. That is a huge benefit out there. For us, that goes a long way. And of course, then the TruePatriotOutfitters.com. Go to our store there. Tons of cool apparel options out there. If there's something you'd like to see we don't carry, let me know. We got some specialized fishing tackle from Vicious Fishing, NACO, Tackle HD. All these companies, we use their products. You're going to be seeing them in the videos coming up this season. It's what we trust and believe in, and you'll see it firsthand from the kayak as we're out there from the New Canoe Unlimited. Supporting us through that way there. As a side note as well, just to make sure any of the apparel that you see out there that is set with the Romans Warrior Foundation logo on it, whether it's hats or beanies or hoodies or anything like that, or cups, anything with Romans Warrior or the Global War on Terror, 100% of the profits from the sale of those items goes directly to the Romans Warrior Foundation. So we're going to basically just we channel that straight over to them from our store there. But all the other items that are out there is a great way to help support us and keep us on our mission here, so we can keep gas in the pickup and we can keep rolling down the road. As usual, folks, we couldn't do this stuff without you. Thank you so very much. Be sticking with us. We got some cool stuff going to be dropping, and before you know it, man, season it may have got a little delay for us, but it's about to fire off, and we're going to have some really cool times. Hopefully some big old green and brown fish to share with you. As always, folks, when you're out there, tight lines and be safe.
1, 2, 3, 4. Together.